Breaking news! The Baltimore Ravens are winning games. But what if I told you that under all the celebrations, there's a dangerous flaw threatening to destroy everything this team has built? A flaw that even the front office seems too stubborn or too scared to fix. And the most frustrating part? Every fan sees it, every game exposes it, and yet, nothing changes. If the Ravens don't act fast, this could be the reason we miss out on the Super Bowl again. But before we dive into what might be the Ravens' biggest blind spot of the season, make sure you hit that like button if you're a true Ravens fan. It's always amazing to see fans of all ages supporting this team. And if you feel like it, comment, "Go Ravens," to show the world where you stand. The Baltimore Ravens, somehow, are back. After starting the season 1-5, the team is now only one game under .500. That kind of turnaround would normally inspire nothing but joy. Yet, here we are, celebrating progress while holding our breath. Because underneath all the excitement is one glaring, potentially season-ending problem: the offensive line. Through Week 9, the Ravens rank among the lowest in pass protection according to league-wide charts. And yet, somehow, Lamar Jackson holds one of the highest QBRs in the entire NFL. The disparity between his individual performance and the protection he's receiving says it all. This isn't just a great quarterback doing his job. This is a great quarterback surviving chaos in the pocket. And if you've watched the games, you've seen it. The constant pressure, the hurried throws, the hits that make you wince. Remember the Bills game with Ed Oliver wreaking havoc? The Lions game with what felt like a historic number of pressures? The Chiefs game where Lamar actually got hurt? Those weren't outliers. They were symptoms of a systemic failure up front. Fans have been calling this out since the offseason, and yet, here we are, again. The offensive line, especially at the guard positions, is being targeted with heavy criticism. Player number 77, Daniel Falale, has become the lightning rod. Fans are openly frustrated, with many saying his presence alone is jeopardizing the Ravens' entire season. One fan even joked that Derrick Henry won't even get to play a cameo in an Adam Sandler movie because of number 77's blocking issues. It's harsh, but it's a reflection of just how desperate fans are for answers. Let's talk numbers. The Ravens rank 30th in short yardage conversion, and it's directly tied to the guard play. That's not a minor issue. That's the difference between third and out and extending drives. That's the difference between controlling the clock and giving your opponent another shot. That's playoff football. That's the Super Bowl. And here's the kicker. Despite all this, there doesn't seem to be any intention from the coaching staff to make major changes on the line. Fans have repeatedly voiced their concerns, begged for adjustments, even floated ideas like inserting Ben Cleveland, who's somehow being treated like a hidden asset. But nothing. The same names, the same combinations, the same results. It gets deeper. The offensive philosophy itself is under scrutiny. Why does the team constantly drift away from what works, like running plays under center, only to fall into predictable shotgun formations that invite blitzes? There's no denying the talent in the backfield with Derrick Henry and Keaton Mitchell, nicknamed Thunder and Lightning by fans. The combination of power and speed is lethal when used correctly, especially when lined up under center. So why abandon it? Keaton Mitchell has emerged as a revelation, and fans are now pushing for him to be RB1, not because he's necessarily better than Derrick Henry, but because with the poor guard play, Mitchell's quick acceleration and ability to navigate tight spaces might be more effective than brute force. It's not about favoritism, it's about maximizing every inch of this offense. And speaking of maximizing, let's not forget the unsung hero of this team right now, punter Jordan Stout. He's playing like a top 5 punter in the NFL. 50% of his punts are landing inside the 20, many even inside the 10. He's flipping the field with precision, and while fans celebrate defensive takeaways, it's often Stout who puts them in a position to succeed. In a season where special teams could make the difference between a playoff berth and watching from home, his impact cannot be overstated. Then there's the front office. General Manager Eric DeCosta, EDC, is drawing heat for the lack of impactful trades at the deadline. One fan summarized it perfectly: "We expected more D-line and O-line help, and all we got was Draymond." For a team with championship aspirations, fans were hoping for a bold move. Instead, they got what feels like hesitation. EDC's conservative approach to the draft and free agency has worked in the past, but in this moment, with a Super Bowl within reach, it's being interpreted as playing not to lose rather than playing to win. Let's pick up right where we left off. The question of whether change is needed at offensive guard isn't just a debate among fans, it's a matter of survival for this team's postseason hopes. Week after week, the Ravens are threading the needle, asking Lamar Jackson to perform miracles while enduring a level of pressure that most quarterbacks simply couldn't withstand. And he's doing it. He's delivering. But at what cost? This situation has deeper implications than just protecting the quarterback. It impacts the entire offensive flow. When protection breaks down, the playbook shrinks. Offensive coordinator Todd Monken has been forced to lean heavily on the quick passing game just to get the ball out in time. It's a band-aid solution to a much larger wound. The Ravens can't fully open up the offense, can't take consistent deep shots, and can't dominate time of possession without a stable line. And fans are noticing. Several have floated their own strategic ideas, some even suggesting the implementation of a triple option look, using Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, and Keaton Mitchell. It's unconventional. It's risky. But that's exactly where the frustration lies. The Ravens seem unwilling to try anything outside the box. With Henry's bruising style, Mitchell's explosiveness, and Lamar's dual-threat ability, the potential for a truly dangerous rushing attack is right there, just waiting to be unleashed. But again, the coaching staff seems locked into conservative decision-making, unwilling to deviate from the current plan, even if it's clearly not working in the trenches. And that plan, or lack thereof, has consequences. There's an emotional undercurrent among the fan base right now. People are angry, yes, but more than that, they're worried. The team has momentum. They're winning games. They're beating tough opponents. The defense is clicking. Special teams is lights out. But one bad game, one critical injury from a missed block, one collapse in the postseason, and the entire season could unravel. It's a powder keg of potential that's being held back by an offensive line with more holes than answers. And then there's the issue of accountability. Multiple fans brought up the same name again and again, Daniel Falale. Whether it's from missed blocks, holding penalties, or simply being overmatched at the line of scrimmage, he's become the face of this offensive line struggles. And yet, he continues to see the field. Why? Is it loyalty? Is it draft investment bias? Is it just lack of better options? Whatever the reason, the decision to stick with a struggling player while the team is clawing for every win sends a message, one that fans are interpreting as complacency. The ripple effects go further. One fan, Nova, posed a bold question. Who really needs to go for things to change in Baltimore? That conversation has begun to shift beyond individual players and into the front office. Eric DeCosta, once praised for aggressive moves and a modern approach to team building, is now being second-guessed. Why didn't the Ravens trade for offensive line help at the deadline? Why does it always feel like the Ravens are one step behind when it comes to addressing glaring needs? Even some of DeCosta's previous moves are being scrutinized. Fans referenced misses like the Earl Thomas situation or injuries plaguing Marcus Williams. Others pointed to the excessive reliance on the draft, with a belief that he'd rather hoard picks than take calculated risks in free agency or trades. As one fan put it, you can't expect your players to give it their all if leadership continues to be mediocre. That quote is haunting, because it raises a fundamental question. Is the front office holding the team back? There's no doubt DeCosta has had hits, Roquan Smith, Kevin Zeitler, Marcus Peters in the past, but the current sentiment is that his reluctance to make bold, mid-season moves may be costing the Ravens a real shot at the Super Bowl. Some fans argue it's time to bring in leadership from outside the Ravens system, someone with a new vision, a new philosophy, someone not tethered to the Harbaugh-DeCosta lineage that has defined the franchise for years. And yet, the irony in all of this is that this team is still winning. Despite the chaos, despite the injuries, despite the questionable decisions, they're winning. They're knocking on the door of first place in the AFC North. They just dropped 27 points on a tough Vikings defense without even playing their best football. So, where does that leave us? In a place Ravens fans know all too well, caught between hope and frustration. We see the potential. We feel the urgency. We believe in the players. But we're stuck watching a coaching staff and front office that seems unwilling or unable to adapt in real time. And with games against the Browns, Jets, and Bengals on the horizon, there's no margin for error. Every play matters now. Every decision, every snap could be the difference between home field advantage and a wild card road trip, between glory and heartbreak, between Lamar Jackson hoisting the Lombardi or walking off the field wondering what could have been. And so I asked you, do the Ravens have the guts to make the changes that could save their season? Or are we destined to watch history repeat itself once again? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you haven't already, make sure to like this video, subscribe for more Ravens content, and check out the other videos on screen right now. Let's keep the flock flying high, together.